All right, there, folks. So I wanted to pop in here with a video that I hope brings a little bit more clarity and understanding to what life coaching is all about. Health coaching, wellness coaching, life coaching, what these professions are all about, based on my experience in meeting people, talking to people who don't have experience with this, don't really understand how they can truly benefit from a partnership like this. And so that is really the intent and the purpose behind this video. And I really think that there's a couple of different reasons why there is a lack of clarity around what life coaching is all about. And one of these reasons in my mind is because in the grand scheme of that universe, coaching is still fresh, it's still new, it's still evolving. And that's a really good thing. But I think that that leads to a lack of clarity of what it is all about because people are just not aware. And the second reason I believe is because we all, I think, have a general understanding of what an athletic coach does and what that purpose serves. And that is different from life coaching and health coaching and wellness coaching. And I think people confuse those two areas and rightly so. Coach is a coach is a coach. But yeah, so that's the intention of this video. I'm hoping to provide a little bit more clarity in that direction. And so at that 50,000 foot view of coaching, I use the word partnership. I literally just used it a bit ago. But yeah, I use the word partnership because it's to me, it's paramount. It's paramount to coaching. The reason why I use the word partnership is because I consider you to be an expert. I consider you to be an expert of you. You're the one that has lived in your experience. You're the one that has lived in your shoes. I have not done that. I have lived in my shoes and I've experienced my experiences. I'm an expert of me, but no matter how much I learn about my clients, which is part of my goal, I personally believe that I can never claim to be an expert of that person. And so I work to bring that into this journey and what we do together. I fuse that with the expertise that I bring to the journey, which is all about supporting someone through creating lasting lifestyle change. And so I often use a metaphor to describe coaching. And the metaphor that I use is driving a car. So hopefully you've either driven a car before, been in a car before, or you can imagine yourself being in a car. And what I first say is that so in the beginning of a coaching journey, we are parked. We are parked safely in a spot of your choosing, and you're behind that wheel because you are in the driver's seat. This is your life, and you are in control. And I can't underscore that enough. You are in control of this journey of your life. As a coach, I'm in that passenger seat. And what we are going to be doing in the beginning is getting acquainted with one another. And one of the ways in which we start this journey is to kind of really get clear on what it is that you do want out of that journey. We get clear on what do you want to achieve? What do you want to obtain? Who do you want to become? I call it that vision. I call it that North Star. So we spend time getting clarity around what that North Star is for you. And that those can change. Those can also evolve over time, for sure. But to get a starting point for that North Star is key because we're not going to be able to go anywhere meaningful unless we have somewhere meaningful to go. And so we spend time getting clarity on what that is for you. And then we check in to see where you are now towards that North Star. And then we begin to co-create a roadmap for you to get from where you are now to where it is that you want to be. And how do we do that? How do we co-create? Again, this is not me telling you what to do. Coaches are not here to tell you what to do. We are here to collaborate and we're here to partner. And so the strategies that I use are asking questions, I share observations, and through that, we're accomplishing two things, hopefully, ideally. Number one, I'm deepening my understanding about you and your situation and what it is that you do want. And yeah, sometimes you might not relate to an observation that I share, and that is totally okay. In those moments, I'm going to ask you to push back because we are in a partnership. And so I'm deepening my understanding in using these techniques and strategies. And the other thing that is ideally happening is that your own awareness is growing, is expanding, is increasing. And I'm constantly talking about this awareness piece because without awareness, we can't do anything differently. We can't do anything differently from where we are today without that awareness. And so that is ideally also happening. And with that increasing awareness, your possibilities will increase, your motivations will increase, and that is a powerful thing. And that is a beautiful dynamic. And so once you feel comfortable with taking some steps, some forward motion towards that North Star, and again, you need to feel comfortable before you start actually driving. But once you do reach that level of comfort, that is when you do start driving. You put the pedal to the metal, and we start driving. You're behind the wheel, I'm in that passenger seat, and we're gonna go. And sometimes you might find yourself veering off the road, whichever direction that might be. You might be veering off from that initial North Star that you painted the picture of. And we're going to check in those moments because there could be some really powerful learning there. And one of the things that can happen is that's like it could be an intentional veering off, right? With this expanding awareness, you might feel more inspired to go in a different direction just naturally. And so if that's the case, amazing. Keep going in that direction. We'll just kind of like pivot that North Star, make everything aligned, and off to the races. Sometimes, however, those veering offs, they are not intentional, and that can happen for a slew of different valid reasons. And in those cases, we are going to talk about those moments. What might have you learned about veering off that you can then apply to support yourself in getting back on track? That's what it's all about. That is learning. And I say this so often because I can't underscore it enough. As long as that learning is happening, you are growing. Literally, you are growing. The neural pathways in your brain are growing. And as long as that growing is happening, you are winning. So in my eyes, as long as that's happening, you can never be a failure. And I can't underscore that part enough. You might feel like you failed at something. And I can't control that part. But I want you to hear from this coaching seat that as long as that learning is happening, not a failure whatsoever. And that's truly what it's all about. Like coaching is truly all about experimenting until you figure out what works for you. And I often say, actually, like, think about like the world of science. How many experiments in history have failed before that experiment worked? Exact same thing in coaching. Maybe you knock it out of the park right off the bat. Incredible. But maybe you are experimenting along the way until you hit it out of the park. Equally incredible. It's all learning, it's all growing. And so I hope, provides a clearer picture of what life coaching, health coaching, wellness coaching is all about. And with that, let's go.